همه شما میدونی من کی هستم. همه شما میدونی آریای دیوری کی هست. همه شماها میدونی من کی هستم. آقا I don't know who the hell you think you are. This is not reality of wrestling, Booker. This is heavy on wrestling, and I am the undisputed champion, which means I call the shots around here. Now let me get this straight. You're making the match Lance Hoyt, Trevor Murdoch, Ariya Daivari, triple threat for my championship belt. You know what? That's fine, because I'm going to do what I do best, and that's kick ass in the middle of this ring, and I will be walking out of here with my championship belt. Now, can you dig that, sucker?
So what is the dynamic? Is it every man for himself? Are there going to be teammates in this situation? I just don't know. As Scot Summers rolls out of the ring and goes right nose to nose with the fans here.
Do you think Corbin and Richards team up on this in the early going just because they're about the most normal?
And that's saying something where you're talking about Darin Corbin especially.
I actually went there.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I just don't know. And I don't know if I'm Stevie Richards and Darin Corbin says, let's you and I work together. Look at it. And just that quickly, Corbin and Richards are jawing with each other.
Well, see, you don't know. I mean, and that's the big question here when you get this kind of match. Obviously, the #1 contender is on the line here for Ariya Daivari's Heavy on Wrestling Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. 3 great wrestlers here, 3 different styles. You don't know where this one's going to go. 3-way match. Heavy on style.
The first pin, ladies and gentlemen, the first pin. I don't care who pins who, he's the #1 contender. And, you know, if I'm Stevie Richards, and you don't know what's going on in the head of Stevie Richards, because as I said, not always the most balanced individual.
But probably the most in this whole situation.
Isn't that scary? That is what's really frightening when Stevie Richards could be the voice of reason here.
What is with this bandana thing around Corbin's neck? What are we doing? What is that?
I don't know, but if I'm standing right next to Scot Summers and I've got something around my neck, well, I'm going to be very careful. Look at this. Richards got out of the way. Very smart. Look at this now.
And there's already infighting.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of that. As I said, you get Darin Corbin talking about going down to the state of Texas and finding out who the puppet master is behind the Kings of the Underground. That's got to piss off Scot Summers. They don't like each other. They detest each other. They both hate Stevie Richards. The dynamic here, as I said, it's unpredictable. Interesting matchup to say the very least.
Stevie Richards backed into a corner right now.
And there they go. At least for the moment, they backed Richards into the corner. Corbin backs off now.
He said he'd let him do all the work.
Oh, this is not good. That was as stupid as I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of stupidity from Darin Corbin. First of all, he turned his back on Stevie Richards. Second of all, he got in the face of Scot Summers. Talk about double jeopardy. I mean, come on, Corbin, use your head what little there is. Oh, that kick right to the small of the back from Steven Richards. Of course, we have seen him for so many years in so many scenarios, but always with the major national companies. This guy is the real deal.
An original, ECW original, which you mentioned.
Oh, man. Well, the great equalizer right there. I don't care how original you are or what letters of the alphabet you put together from the promotions you work for. You get hit between the goalposts like that, and you're going to feel it for a couple of days.
Yeah, you'll be saying those letters of the alphabet in a high tone.
Yes. Now Scot Summers. Built low to the ground. He reminds me of the late, great Mad Dog Vachon in physical stature. Probably as vicious as the dog, and that's saying something. He might even be more sick than Mad Dog Vachon.
I was
that's
going
possible.
more Buzz Sawyer.
Absolutely. I could see that as well. Well, no matter how you look at it, Buzz Sawyer, Mad Dog Vachon, you're dealing with an unstable guy.
You don't know what you're getting.
No, big elbow.
Look at Corbin. He's just lying in the weeds here. Being the weasel we know he is.
Look at Corbin now. You know, you're right. He's a slime ball. There's no question about it. Ever the opportunist. Darin Corbin. There's a duck of the elbow. Oh, look at Corbin. Why don't you write him a letter, Corbin? You telegraphed that for about 2 weeks. And now Stevie Richards taking off after Scot Summers follows him in. Grabs the beard and hits him with that shot right across the sternum. Oh, he's unloading. But look at Summers. Oh, God. Oh, no way. Oh, you could hear that into the state of Minnesota.
We've got some hamburger meat here, folks.
Ugh. Oh, look at Corbin. Now he's begging off. Oh, jeez. Scot Summers in for the cover. Count of two. He had it the cradle. He almost floated a half Nelson on him there, but bottom line, Corbin, as much as I hate to say it, this kid can take a pounding and come back for more, as is evidenced by the fact that he went toe-to-toe with Dreamer. Oh! While all this is going on between Scot Summers and Darin Corbin, oh no, watch, oh God, he kicked the man in the head. He kicked him in the head.
You could hear that all the way to Duluth from here.
And now Stevie Richards, very smart. Oh, a nice drop kick by Stevie Richards.
He played his version of possum.
He certainly did. Count of two. Wow. Well, I think our question was answered. Is there going to be any teamwork in this one? Absolutely not. Every man for himself.
There was one attempt early, and it was failed.
Yeah. Yeah, when they got into the ring and looked at each other, it's about as close as they came to teamwork. And forming. Oh, no. Oh.
Wow. That's two for him now.
I think those nuggets are coming out of Stevie's nose at this point. That was a brutal shot there. Now look at Corbin and Summers. How can these guys even pretend to coexist? We know it's BS. He's going to knock him out. Oh, smart move. Oh, he hit him anyway. Scot Summers nailed Corbin anyway. Corbin lulled into a false sense of security.
Are you ready yet?
It's easy to lull Corbin into anything, actually, his state of mind.
You ready yet? You punch me.
Well, he said he was going to knock him out. He just didn't say which one.
Let's go.
Wait a minute. Are they teaming up now? They've got Richards. He's a sitting duck right in between the two of them here. This is not good. Oh!
You can't deny there's a lot of communication going on in the ring between those two, though.
It's all miscommunication, every bit of it.
Doesn't mean, yeah, it doesn't have to be positive.
No. Boy, I tell you what, if I'm Stevie Richards, I got to be loving this. Shake the cobwebs loose, and you've got two for the taking here.
Well, the faithful here are getting into this one.
There's a shot right to the sternum, and another one, and now Stevie Richards unloading. Again, the physical conditioning of Stevie Richards is probably second to none in the pro wrestling business. This guy could go all night long. Look at him now. He's a runaway freight train. Picks him up, side slam. Look out behind you, Stevie. There's another guy in the ring. Oh, that kick. In for the cover. Do we have a count of 1 and 2? Oh. A half a beat away from becoming the #1 contender for the HOW Championship. Look at Corbin. He's small. Oh, God, Jesus. Oh.
I felt that right here in the broadcast booth.
Man. Nobody is safe to turn their back on anybody in this one. Look at Richards now. Wait a minute, Scot Summers sets Richards up. Oh, wait a second. Oh, God, that brain buster. That's it. That is it. Wait a minute. Out of the ring goes Summers. Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, who's your winner and new #1 contender for the Heavyweight Wrestling Championship,
My God.
Darin